Hey guys, it's Cam. I appreciate you taking the time to join me today. Oh, this is another impromptu video. You'll notice that I'm not really somebody that really sticks to the ropes. I kind of swing from the hip when it comes to stuff like this. I'm not on a video challenge. This is kind of just a personal challenge. And things that cross me during the day that I feel are important, I try to take note of it, and when given the opportunity, I enjoy sharing it with you guys. Today I really want to talk to you about accountability. Having a self-responsibility for your actions, owning your actions. To avoid the cliche of your word is your bond. As an individual, as a human, as a professional, maybe a business owner, doesn't matter what you are. Gaining people's trust comes down to sticking to your word. If you say you're going to do something, you got to do it. You got to hold yourself accountable. And the best way to lead is by example. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Peter Principle, but this isn't about do as I say, not as I do. If you think about the people that are most influential around you, the people you look up to and admire are the ones that live the way that you probably envision yourself living to some extent. They represent something that at the core is good for everybody. I'm not going to get into companies or details on stories, but I do want to share something with you. There's a gentleman by the name of David Sharp. I was listening to a story he told one time, and he was talking about the trials and tribulations of being down on your luck and working through it. And he said, you don't want to share your pity story with people until you've gotten through it. Basically, don't drag folks down. You want to lift them up. And the best way to do that is to be that shining example of, hey, look at me. I was down on my luck. I got through this. I put my nose in the books. I got to work. I did what it took, and I exceeded. I excelled. I succeeded, and living the way I want to now. That's something that really struck home with me. There was a point in time where I really struggled, and what triggered this whole idea for accountability today was an experience I had the very first time I was late on one of my bills. Obviously, I was struggling financially, and at that time I was struggling personally as well. When you're down and out, there's a lot of stuff that kind of comes on you at once, other than just money. But I distinctly remember the first time that my water was cut off. The feeling that I got in the pit of my stomach, knowing that I was just I was out of control. And the conversation I had with the representative when I got on the phone to try to work things out, it was very tempting, very easy to lash out at her, to try to point a finger, to blame somebody for what ultimately was my mistake. It was my responsibility. I failed to do what I needed to do to protect myself in that case. And looking back on it, I spent several years in this industry, working online, and a lot of the difficulties, struggles, I guess you would call it failures that I had, looking back, they're a direct result of my inaction or my action. A choice. Everything we do, from the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep, it's a choice. And if you don't own up to that, then I wish you the best of luck. And I don't mean, just our daily actions. Getting up in the morning and going through our routine and fulfilling our responsibilities. I mean, when you're walking down the street, are you the guy that smiles at somebody that, a complete stranger? Do you bring any sort of joy to somebody's day? Do you represent yourself in a way that you really see fit a leader to represent him or herself? I see, unfortunately, a lot of people that and I'm sure they do want to help them, but the emphasis is, I want to help you do this, I want to help you do that. Well, the best way that I've seen, coming from an educator's perspective, to help somebody is to be an example. If you're going to tell somebody to do this, well, hopefully they can look up to you as a leader and an exemplar of what you're expressing, what you're teaching. And if they can't, then obviously there's going to be mixed emotion, convoluted thoughts. Why is this person telling me to do this and yet they're not doing it? So you want to live by example. You want to definitely set yourself apart by being the kind of individual who represents him or herself to the best of your ability each and every day. Doesn't matter what you're doing. And that, to me, is accountability. Really holding yourself responsible for your actions. If you want to do something, decide how you're going to do it. Make a plan of action. And don't just talk about it, do it. I'm sure we've all been victim of making that giant to-do list or brainstorming out the wazoo and knowing exactly what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, but when it comes down to it, you got to do it. That's accountability. And that's something that I really hope that everybody can take with them as a message for the day. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Be accountable for yourself first. And, the responsibility you have for others will follow. So, this is Cam again. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to my rambles. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and God bless. Bye.